I used to be someone who would hide in my hoodie during the summer months and go to the lake or beach and wear full sets of clothes because I was so embarrassed about my skin. Now I'm someone who's confident, fit, jacked, and I have absolute confidence 24/7. I can have full intellectual conversations with a random stranger. I can get them to talk very deeply about themselves. I can basically just go through the world with tons of confidence, penetrating the world's paradigm. Okay. But in all seriousness, though, the society has been controlling us since the dawn of time when we were little babies. Our parents have conditioned us to think a certain way, behaviors. When we did one bad thing, we got disciplined for it. Yeah. So, and society has trained us throughout our entire lives to be that certain thing. And, when I was a little guy, right, and you can see it on the left of the picture, the bottom left, on the left side, is me in the Levi's shirt. I was skinny, insecure, getting bullied every single day about my skin. I was called certain names. Even I had a girlfriend at the time. She told everybody about my pink skin, and I got bullied for it. Crazy. And I turned into the person on the right. And I built a physique when during the time when I was getting bullied. I trained super hard and I was going in the gym every single day. Now, the picture you see in the Levi's right here, if you can see my mouse, that's a picture of me in the Levi's, and I just started going into the gym. Now, this is me 2 years after, 2 years after, and I was just chasing pumps in the gym. I was still going every day. I was still training 2 hours a day, not getting the physique I wanted, and I just, accepted the fact that this is what my genetics are. And I had become an absolute elite body of a man. And I did that based off of different habits. And I changed my physique based off of different techniques. Now, I was just chasing pumps, okay? And I built my physique now to the point where I am way more stronger, more muscle bellies. I grew way more in three years compared to the other 3 year transformation when I first started. I was just chasing pumps, and I'm so grateful I met a friend of mine who taught me that you need to actually strength train. You need to build your strength, get strong in the gym. You need to train like a power builder. So that's what I did. I was doing power building programs. I would do powerlifting and then I would do hypertrophy movements afterwards. It built really strong, mature muscles, and I became absolutely confident in myself, but still was underlying different other parts of me that was completely insecure about my skin. I still was wearing those hoodies, still was scared of people judging me for what I looked like. And you can see in this picture on the left, I'm literally shirtless inside a mall in Victoria's Secret. Like, who does that? Who the hell takes their shirt off, buys some Victoria's Secret, walks around the mall, people staring everywhere, getting a good joke out of it? Like, I have completely broken what society has told me I should be, and now I'm totally free in my brain. I'm completely free in my brain. I have a strong physique. People respect me, and people enjoy being around me. I have lots of friends. I have built numerous friends. I used to have no friends at all. On the very, very left side, this is where I had only a couple friends, and they were the ones bullying me as well. And obviously, high school is different. People are very insecure in high school, and that's just a reflection on them. But I still had no friends even after high school. It took maybe 3 years to start building quality friends. And after year three of being out of high school, I actually started becoming a social freak. I started doing crazy things and talking to strangers, cold approaching girls that I never would have done. And I was a complete pansy. And I broke out of that. I broke free of what society has told me and what society has constructed me to be. It was during the time of 2020. We all know what happened during that time, and that's when I started breaking free. I realized society controls us during that time, and I I knew that I needed to make a change, and I did. I went from someone who was scared to talk to a 100-pound cute girl and being able to approach literally every single girl I can see and being able to go on many dates and building really good social groups. Um, I have I have really broken the norm of what a typical human being would be, right? So this is my client, and I'm really proud of my client. He was someone who didn't have any skin issues. He was actually doing really well financially, and he had a turning point in his life where he knew he had to make a change. He was not in shape. He was never happy with himself. I think we all felt that before, and no confidence whatsoever. He was so embarrassed about his body. He was also embarrassed about his mind. He could not break free. And so, after I did some coaching with him, he needed some guidance. He put in the work, 90 days. I got him to be the most jacked he's ever been, lost a ton of weight, and also just being able to approach strangers. Now he's high fiving strangers, talking to people, making new friends, networking, increasing his income because now he can literally talk to anybody now. He's created some good business relationships because he implemented the tools I gave him. And he's also being able to meet more girls and um, becoming more of an attractive person. So he's a very social person now and no longer feels insecure. And that's where I was too. I have all of the tricks. I'm going to show you everything on this video completely free, and you can do whatever you need to do with it, right? I only can give you information on this video, and you are free to do whatever you have to do. And this goes to show that I know what I'm talking about. I've literally gone through it, and there's more. So if you ever been someone who, you're ashamed of your body, you're ashamed of your skin, you don't like the way you look, this is for you, man. This is where you make changes. If you feel stuck in the gym, not seeing results like I did when I had my first 3 years of lifting, only gaining 5 pounds of muscle in 3 years, I completely changed that. This is for you. If you're scared to talk to people because you're insecure and you have different insecurities, this is for you. Even if you're scared of being rejected. Now, if you want to build muscle, confidence, and, not just one, but maybe both, this is for you. And if you feel like there's no purpose in your life, this is definitely for you. I used to be the person who I would go to the gym, felt good, got my pump, and I was like, what's the point of life? I don't understand what else I'm supposed to do after this. So this is your journey to really create something and build your personality and break yourself free from this social crap. Society has controlled us, and this is your way of breaking free. It creates purpose in your life. You start discovering yourself more, you start learning about yourself more because you put yourself under these social pressures, and it's so good for you. It's good for your mental health. Now, this is not for someone who wants a magic pill, and I know you're not that person, but there is people out there that want a quick fix. Now, the 90 days, I can't get you to where you need to be, but I can't do that with just a pill. Okay, we're not here to take steroids, no gear, no bullshit, science based lifting. That stuff is not going to help you. My way is going to help. If you're not willing to do the reps in the gym or in life, this is not for you. And if you just want another workout PDF you'll never use, this is not for you. You know, I can give you all the information, and if you don't implement it, you're not going to like this, right? I can't just give you information and then this is what normal people typically do. They get all the information they need and they don't do anything about it. So here's the truth. Confidence, no one tells you. You don't want to wait for it. You build it just like muscle, reps in the gym, reps in real life. It sounds super corny, right? But it's absolutely true. In the gym, you obviously know you have to put in repetition, you have to put in diet, the different supplements in order to grow. And it's the same thing when it comes to building your confidence. I was a skinny, little, brainless person. All right. I was like a little peasant, and I built my body, had a Greek God, but inside my brain, inside my heart, I had nothing. No personality, no social construct, no social intelligence, and no confidence, man. But I changed that. And it didn't take long. Now, I forced myself to do things, but over time, you start maturing. Same thing in the gym. You hit a point where you plateau after 3 years of consistency, but then it's all about that refinement of just building out their certain muscle groups and making them more defined, more matured. It's the same thing when you're building your confidence and the social dynamics. There's certain things you can do to become more socially intelligent. And I'm still working on it day by day. I'm not saying I know everything, but I definitely have been most men in their lives, and I have done a lot more, accomplished a lot more, and um, becoming a social freak because I put in those reps. So, and like if you're waiting for your skin to clear up or you're waiting for your physique to just change, it's not going to make you confidence, man. Confidence comes from the action you take, and you have to actually build it up. It's not easy. It doesn't just come. You see people online that seem like they're so confident in themselves. I'm telling you what, they are not. I've met some of them. They're not confident people, and they have not put in the work to build themselves up. And if you could be that person, you can start doing incredible things. You can start a business, you know how to network, you know how to socialize with people. If you can cold approach a cute girl, I'm sure as hell, sure of you can cold approach a literal angel investor. You can approach someone who's a business owner and start building your business. And that's why I'm in sales. That's why I do tech sales, and I do pretty damn well at it because I know how to talk to people. I know how to relate to them. I know how to build rapport quickly. This is one of the greatest skills you can ever build, not just in the gym. And the gym is just a cherry on top, man. The gym shows that you have developed something, right? You put in the work for something. It's not easy to achieve a six pack or a big chest or broad shoulders or big legs. It's not easy. And everyone knows that. And when you have that, people respect you more. And then when you're socially intelligent, instead of being a closeted weirdo and you're just a bodybuilder, people respect you more. So it comes from taking action. You can see me here. I'm having fun. I'm partying. I'm going completely sober. I can't drink with my skin condition, but I'm going completely sober, having a good time, exposing my skin. You think I give a shit in that picture? I'm just having a great time with my friends. I'm going out there 10 hours a day for 3 days. We were just partying it up. And my friends, they might have taken some substances or drank, whatever. But I did everything sober, and I'm proud of that. And I could still have fun because I love socializing. I love being out there and talking to people. I never was this way. I was an insecure kid. I was scared of everything. Yeah, you can see here I'm walking out shirtless. I'm out in the college area, and you can see people look at me, checking me out, whatever they were thinking, and you can tell I just do not give a shit. And I think the biggest reason why you also need to go to the gym too is with your skin condition, it looks like you have war wounds. It makes you look savage, makes you look strong, and people like it more. People find it more attractive because they can tell you've been through something and they think it's cool, right? It's the same thing here when I'm in the mall, walking around shirtless, like a total douchebag, whatever you want to call me. People loved it. They thought it was hilarious. And it's because I can own up to it, and I'm an absolute savage, man. So this is the point. You can turn your life around with just by not giving a shit. So this is what I'm not going to let happen to you. And you're not going to be waiting, right? I'm going to give you all the advice. I'm going to give you all the tips and tricks. And all you got to do is put in the repetition. You're the one that is the one showing up. You have to do the social reps. You have to do the reps in the gym. You have to create your own self-belief. And I'm here to guide you. I have all the wisdom I have. Now I can give you as much as I need to, but you have to put in the work. You don't need the perfect genetics to attract respect. And we always think that. We think, oh, wow, the person has a perfect jawline, perfect eyebrows, the perfect nose. Um, You know, none of it matters. I've seen literally dudes who are 5 out of 10s. They go to the gym, they train super hard. Now they maybe they're 6 or 7 out of 10s. But when they can approach a girl and they're a 7 out of 10, they look like an 8 or 9 out of 10, believe it or not. So you need to prove yourself you can act in any way. I do not want to hear, Tyler, you have good facial features. Bro, I literally look stupid with my skin. Okay? People still talk about my skin online. People still say things about me. I don't let it get to my head like you do. And yes, maybe I do have better facial genetics than most people, but it's because I went to the gym. I did not always look like this. I had a puffy face. I had a big nose. My face was not mature, and training heavy weights literally does that for you. So you can make yourself look really good. You can make yourself look like you have perfect genetics. Okay. This is what I'm going to show you, man. We're going to build your body. Okay. And this is when you have to put yourself in the gym, and literally in 3 months, you can become the strongest version of yourself, the biggest version of yourself, get very lean with implementing my diet as well. So having a structured lifting plan makes you stronger, reshaping the way you see yourself, the way people see you, and building that confidence. This is a different type of confidence, right? And I keep talking about that. But this just naturally gives you something to be proud of, and people respect that. And that therefore gives you confidence. Okay. And we're going to be talking about rewiring your mind, those confidence reps. So, daily social habits, making eye contact with people, greeting people, actually just approaching them, complimenting them, even complimenting a girl, or even getting their numbers. We can stack these things up and it progresses just like the gym. You have to progressive overload to build strength, build momentum in your progress. It's the same thing. And then managing your skin, I understand if you're someone who has a skin condition and you're watching this, I have you. I have many different ways. I've always obviously don't have the perfect skin, right? My skin has been growing. I'm currently maintaining it, but I know how to manage those flare ups and control it as much as possible. So it at least gives you a little bit more confidence. Okay. And you don't want to let the psoriasis or whatever condition you're going through control you. And lastly, just changing that identity. Okay. This is when you have to really change the way you think, because I know what it's like to constantly be overthinking everything, thinking that you're a certain person when you really aren't. There's a book called Psycho-Cybernetics, and this is something I like to give my clients. But this book really tells you how to really change your paradigm and have more self belief. When people tell you certain things about you, are you really going to take it personally and believe them? Because they really don't know who you really are. And so, anyways, um, this is the deep stuff, right? After you've built the muscle and you're going out there being confident, blah 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 blah. You still need to self-identify yourself as someone in a positive way and not think negatively, because it can affect your progress and change the way you are. And people can tell whether or not you talk to yourself good or bad. Okay. So here's a little bit of a backstory about me. So when I was 9 years old, I got diagnosed with psoriasis, and it actually went away when I was nine. They put in a big, huge steroid shot in my back. Now it's a permanent white spot on my back. It's very big. And when I became 15 years old, I started doing cross country and I started getting a lot of flares. We didn't know a lot about dieting, anything like that. And it started getting really embarrassing for myself. I was really ashamed of myself. I saw everybody with perfect skin, and it made me feel really depressed inside. And so we started taking these creams that the dermatologist recommended us after they diagnosed me for the third time. And you know what? It made it worse. And I had to go through TSL, topical steroid, or TSW, topical steroid withdrawal. And it made everything worse. I was just seeing massive flakes. My skin was itchy. It was growing so fast. And I'm going to blame it to this day on them for where my skin's at now. But I'm still not going to use that as an excuse. But I was still an antisocial kid. I was not talking to people. I was playing video games pretty much the entirety of my middle school years. And then I started working out really hard um, when I was a sophomore. And this is when I was working a lot of jobs. I was drinking so many energy drinks, which made my skin even worse. But I didn't know that at the time. Dermatologists don't tell you how to do your diet, and they don't tell you how to eat clean and manage your skin. They just tell you to take drugs. And obviously, it did not work. So, 16 years old, I was just going through a lot emotionally and just not feeling good about myself, right? So, um, and so I started going to the gym. My friend brought me to the gym, and I knew this was a way for me to start building confidence. And at the time, this is what I really thought would change my life. But I did go to the gym. I did get a little bit bigger. I was repping out 60, 65 pound dumbbells for on the flat bench. And, people in school thought that was really impressive, but I was still kind of a pipsqueak. And you see me in the white shirt there. This is actually what I looked like during that time when I was lifting that much weight. Pretty impressive for how small I was. And I had really long arms, so it wasn't easy. But I was still very, very insecure, even though I was getting bigger, and I would still had anger management problems and getting mad at people for saying things to me, and it made me really depressed. It was not a fun life to live during high school, right? So after high school, still was dealing with my skin condition. I moved out right away, got out of my parents' place, lived on my own. I was 19 years old, graduated at 19, and I was living in my own apartment with a roommate. And during this time, I was still even more depressed. I was smoking weed every single day and just not doing anything with my life, playing video games, working my landscaping job, still going to the gym every single day though. And you can tell this was the loser me, right? I still was smoking weed and everything and not becoming myself. Eventually, I started living with other roommates as the years went on for another year, and I started becoming more into fitness. I stopped smoking my weed, and as I got more into fitness, I stopped focusing so much on this. So started focusing more on self improvement, entrepreneurship. I did build a couple businesses at the time, and really was proud of that. But I still was not achieving anything in life that I really was happy about. I still felt kind of out of place because I couldn't really socialize that well. I was networking, but I was so socially awkward still. I was still embarrassed about my skin because you could see it on my arm. I have it right here, you know, this big spot, and people were looking at it, and I got embarrassed right away. So what I did was during this time, I actually got my own place, no roommates, and completely on my own. I was doing lots of self improvement, studying, researching. I finally found something that changed my paradigm, which was cold approaching. I never thought about talking to a girl, and it seemed really interesting to me at the time. I never knew that you could even do that. I always thought that you're not allowed to talk to a girl or a female. So this changed the way I am now. Um, I decided to take action, and I started making eye contact with strangers because I used to never be able to. I was always scared of people. When someone would look at me, I would literally just look down and go on my phone and just be super like embarrassed that they were looking at me. I changed that. Okay. And I started making eye contact with people. I realized people are on their phones all the time. I realized that was me. I realized I was the person who was always on my phone, just constantly looking at it, not paying attention around my surroundings, and just literally staring at people. It was amazing. I felt superior because I realized that eye contact really does not matter. Okay. I was even looking at the guys who were bigger than me, tougher than me, and they still would break eye contact. Now, I'm not saying it makes you a better person. I'm not saying that you're a better man if you hold eye contact with somebody. Obviously, it doesn't, but it does make you feel good. Um, it's one of those intimidating factors for a lot of people, and if you could break out of that really quickly, you've beat a lot of people. I started talking to people. I started saying hello to everybody and asking how their day was. Said that to 5 people a day. I made it my goal, my mission. That was my goal every single day. I had to go out and say hi to 5 people and ask them how their day's going. It's a lot easier than you think. Even people at the grocery store, the cashier register, you just ask them like, "How's your day going?" They'll tell you, and you just ask them more questions. Start asking more questions. Start making people talk more about themselves than you talk about yourself. People love talking about themselves, right? And then I started high fiving random people shirtless. I started high fiving people not shirtless. And I even did it when I was going on dates with these girls, but that's going a little too far. But I would just high five people, and it made people so happy. I loved giving off that fun energy. Just go up to 10 people and be like, high five, high five. If I got rejected, it didn't matter, right? I realized that rejection didn't matter. And this is when I started realizing that I can talk to a female, right? So I found the cutest girl, and I eventually talked to her. This is after 3 weeks of building up my social confidence, and finally went up to a girl, and I, I had told her she was cute. I was nervous as hell, shaking. I thought I was going to collapse. And anyways, she rejected me. She said, I'll give you my sister's phone number because she looked like her. And I said no, but anyways, I got rejected. But I'll tell you what, it was the best feeling ever. Being rejected, and you've never been rejected before by a female, feels amazing. It's a really good feeling, I promise you. And after that, it was just nonstop. Then I started pushing boundaries and started getting crazier, but it led me to a place where I was able to compliment anybody. I could tell people that I could tell them with whatever intention, like, hey, you're really cute. Or I could tell someone like, I can really be honest and truthful with anybody. And what's the worst that's going to happen? And that's what I realized. And so it was really easy to build better social circles, make better friends, and you can really vet out people in your life. You can become really superior in this world and break from society. Society literally has told us never to talk to people, especially during the 2020 era. We were we were told not to talk to anyone, right? And we were told also not to high five people, but I still high five people in 2020 because I'm an absolute savage and a G. But anyways, it is really great for building better friends, and people really respect you doing those things because no one really does it, right? So where I'm at today, I'm someone who goes to the gym. I'm absolutely confident in myself. I can spark any conversation with any stranger, and I do not care what they think about me. If they don't like the way I'm talking or whatever, that's on them. That's their problem. It does not bother me at all. I can continue and find someone who's more like me, more like-minded. And that's what I've done. I've been through so many friends, and now I'm friends with absolute killers now. And I have a great social group, great social circle, and people highly respect me, and you can get to that part of your life. And my lifestyle has completely changed too. I have a lot of fun. I like to go out a lot, even when I'm sober, and just enjoying my time talking to people and having a good time. I'll literally get a water with ice and pretend it's alcohol and just sip on it while I'm at the bar. Because, because, why not? People just assume you're drinking and you're chilling, right? I just hate it when drunks always ask me, like, why are you not drinking? And then I have to explain myself every single time about my skin. So, anyways, it's a really good lifestyle, man. And I think that it builds discipline, and I can take it through other things in my life, like my sales job. I absolutely crush in my tech sales job. I do well. And if I never did any of this stuff, I would have never been in the position I'm in now. And I'm an absolute busy person. I'm working more than I realize. I definitely have less fun, but I love working, and I put that energy towards that. So this is the strong method, the confidence and fitness system I built through my own trial and error by transforming my body in the gym, learning how to manage psoriasis, and forcing myself through hundreds of social reps to overcome insecurity. And I decided to break it all down for you for free. So we are going to go through this. I want you to really pay attention because this is my way of giving back. Okay. I didn't really know how to do it on Instagram. Obviously, if you watch my videos, I do a lot of Instagram. But this is my only way of sharing this information, and I really want to help out. And this can totally change your life. if you just listen to what I have to say. I think I've shared quite a bit already, but I'm just going to go over in just quick detail. So for the fitness of body, I think one of the biggest things, obviously you can see here, this is me, my current physique, and this is me powerlifting. I was deadlifting 605 pounds at 195 pounds body weight, which is pretty solid, honestly. Now, the thing is you can build a good physique and still not be confident. And I know a lot of bodybuilders who, they have this false confidence in themselves, but they're still super insecure. And it's really interesting because I've talked to people more handsome than me, more jacked, more fit, and girls stare at them all the time, but they're so scared to even go up to a girl or talk to them. They're so scared to even talk to a stranger. And this is the time for you to shine and change that. And I've helped them, but some don't want to be helped for some reason. But you're here for that reason, right? But the structured training I show you, um, that's what you need. You need structure. Okay. You need to have a program. Find a program online. I actually have a free 1 month program that you can use, but it helps you progressive overload. It helps teach you that. It helps teaches you what RPE means, which is the rate of exertion you're using. So what that means is when I'm deadlifting 605 pounds, that is my RPE of 10. And it goes through a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the easiest lift of your life. You probably have 9 reps in reserve. And then 10 RP of 10 would be literally 0 reps in the tank. But that's how it goes. So I could do a 6x6 and RP of 7, so I'm not completely overloading my body, and I can still recover. My CNS is not fried. And then the next week I can up the weight with an RP of 7, and then sometimes I can go up the RPE and go up RPE of 8 with lower reps. But that's how you build strength in the gym. That's how you really build strong, firm, dense muscle mass. So yeah, and the plan that you take from me, or even the plan from anywhere you see online, if you look up power building, you can find some great programs on there that will show you to do the compound movements in the beginning of your workout, and then you do the hypertrophy movements after, which is the bodybuilding aspect. But I do know a lot of the things, like I know psoriasis can be complicated, or any autoimmune condition when it comes to the gym, but I have a lot of ways where, you can just keep it moving. Obviously, lotion's great. Make sure you're not taking hot showers. Make sure your hygiene's good after you go to the gym. You can even shower before the gym and put lotion on. That way your skin's loose and it doesn't flare up. There's so many ways you can actually work it. But anyways, for the diet, I highly recommend the carnivore diet or the Lions diet, which is literally beef, salt, and water. Now, I know it seems intimidating at first, but it's one of the best diets you could ever do for yourself. It gets you so shredded so fast, and it makes you pack on a crazy amount of muscle. I don't even track my calories anymore, and I probably eat 4,000 to 6,000 calories worth of beef. I looked it up. 5 pounds of beef of 80/20 is you could do your research, but it's a lot of fat and protein. But I eat a lot of fat, and it's good for your nutrients, and it's an amazing diet to have, especially when you want long term energy, feeling good all the time, and just feeling strong. Okay, for the confidence training, if you want to feel like the confident person you want to be, there's a lot of things you can do. It's a similar thing to progressive overloading in the gym. You slowly start working your way up. For me, it was eye contact with strangers and making sure I make eye contact with everybody for a full week. Every single person I walk by, I just look at them, and if they don't break eye contact, then I keep looking. And then once they break eye contact, we good. Now, if someone asks like, "Why are you staring at me?" I think this happened to me before, but you just say, "Oh, I thought you looked familiar," and that's all you gotta say. It's not a big deal. So, making eye contact with people is really good. It's a good way for you to kind of break that awkwardness, that weird social part where society tells us like you shouldn't even look at people. It's a good way for you to break out of that. Also, just saying hi to 5 people a day is really good. Just bring positivity. It feels so good to make someone smile. Just tell them, hey, how you doing? Ask them how their day's going. Um, Ask them like, hey, what have you done that was significant today? ask them some really good questions. And it feels really good to spark a conversation with a stranger. Keep it short. The best way to get out of a conversation, if you want to get out of it fast, just say, hey, someone's waiting on me. I got to go. And it was really great talking to you. It's typically what I do, but you can really, really elevate your life just doing that. And then eventually just give a compliment. Go up to a random person, man. If you find 5 people a day for another week. So this is week 3. Find 5 people a day and just go up to them and with their back turned against you. And you say, hey, 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 get their attention. And then you say, hey, I really like your shoes, man. I wanted to tell you that. And then just leave. Yes, you might look like a weirdo, but that's the point. That's the point. And you realize it doesn't matter. You control your own paradigm, your own life. You can do whatever you want. Now, the next step would be asking for the phone number, and giving a compliment to a girl is probably one of the most intimidating things if you're a man. And I promise you, it's a lot easier than you think. It's just hilarious to me that us men can be scared to talk to a 100-pound piece of meat. I know it sounds really wrong. Don't mean to offend the ladies out there. You're worth more than a piece of meat. But I'm just saying, it's funny that we can get in our heads and being like, it's just a girl, man. And I want to tell her she's cute. She seems like a really good person. She seems cool. So you get that number. And here's the line I usually go if you want to use it. I will see a cute girl and be like, hey, excuse me. I know this is super random, but I did think you were really attractive and I wanted to come say hi. My name's Tyler. What's yours? And then she'll tell me her name and I'll be like, okay, what are you up to today? What are you doing? Oh, I'm going shopping, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. What are you shopping for? Oh, I'm getting myself this and that. Oh, why do you like this and that? What do you like about it? Oh, I don't know. I just like it because of this and this. I figured you were that kind of person. She's like, what? You just you just flirting a little bit. And then you say, hey, listen, I gotta go. But how about I get your number and let's go grab a date? Um, Dude, so easy. And the reason why I keep it short and sweet is because I want to save the talking for the date. You don't want to waste your time just talking to random people, right? We're very busy people, busy human beings. As a man, you want to be busy. You don't want to be sitting down playing video games. But if you are, just act as if you are busy. But I don't know. It's really impactful to talk like that. And then when you go on the date, you are literally superior than most men. You have insane confidence. A lot of guys will not do that anymore. A lot of guys go on their phones, they talk on dating apps. Girls get so much attention online. And if you can be the guy that talks to her in person and gets her phone number, you have literally surpassed every dude in the DMs, all the dudes she's talking to, like 20 dudes a day, right? And you're taking her on a date, you're talking, but you make the date fun. You don't have to spend any money on a date. You can go get her coffee or something. Super easy. So, anyways, that is what I like to do. I get lots of good information on this, but this is what I highly recommend doing if you want to break out that confidence, um, that restriction that you have, the what society has told you how you should be, the disciplinary actions that has been taken on you for doing something wrong. You're more than that. You could break out of that. So the identity shift is important. It's really quick. But after you build these things, you want to maintain it. You don't want to just be doing confident things because you have became a confident person. So that's when you have to start telling yourself, I am confident. I'm strong. I go to the gym every day. I do my morning routine every single day. I'm a self developed man. I have worked hard for myself, and I am now at this point where I am better than most people. And it's not an egotistical thing, it's something to be proud of. And don't be ashamed of what you have become. I want, sounds wrong. Okay. I am a good dude. I swear to you, I'm a very good person. I care about people, but you want to be the douche bag. Okay. You want to be the guy who takes action, is more assertive, more dominant in what he says, more intentions. And you don't want to be the person who just doesn't say anything and just hides in the shadows. Okay. So you don't want to be that person, right? And this is what we want to maintain. The reason why the system works, okay, I got stronger over time. You can see that. I went to the gym every day. The first 3 years, I built no muscle, no physique. But then 3 years after that, after my friend taught me how to really build muscle mass, I developed myself into a complete different person. And I showed you that every workout. And the social reps obviously changed my confidence in every reaction I do. And there's proof of it. I have videos of it everywhere. And I can go crazier. I can't go crazier on the internet because I'm going to get banned. Okay. But it's crazy what you can do in real life, and you can change the way you are in society. You just have been jailed in your brain. So you need to break out of that, break that conditioning. And that's what I have done. And those skin management habits that stop my psoriasis from controlling me, what I mean by that is I figured out ways to make it better and to not feel as scared of what people think about it. It does help a little bit. Obviously, it's all mindset, but there is a lot of things I've done, and I would love to help you with that. Obviously, those the tips I gave, like even cold plunges as well. I forgot to mention that. Jeez, but it's great for anti-inflammation. But also dieting is so important. That Lion's diet is incredible. I'm not going to say that's going to be the end all be all, but I have tried different diets as well. Like, um, you know, eating vegetables literally have helped too, but it's nothing like the all carnivore diet. But anyways, and altogether, you created this identity shift. This is what I created. And I stopped seeing myself as the guy who had psoriasis. I stopped seeing myself as the pink man, the pink guy. I am the pink guy. I stopped doing that. And you see myself doing that online, but it's obviously because I'm just trying to build traction. But I would tell myself all the time, you are a weirdo because you have a skin issue. And then I started living as the confident version of me. It's not giving a fuck. Excuse my language. I get really excited about this stuff. But I have become the confident version of myself, and I stopped giving a shit of what people thought about my skin. And it is the only way you're going to break out of this social construct is by doing these social reps and creating this identity shift. And having a jacked body that you can be proud of makes this so much better. Um, it's hard though, because it's like you can build confidence without the jacked body. I've even seen overweight dudes, I've seen skinny guys even be very confident in themselves and still getting girls more attractive than your average good looking guy's girlfriend, right? But that doesn't change anything because if you can have a good body and good physique with that, it's even better. And you can actually maintain a better relationship with a girl if you have a better physique. And honestly, overall, building this confidence is going to develop a better relationship. The relationships I've been in, I have complete confidence and I have a better frame. I can lead with every direction and I know exactly what I'm doing with every intention. And uh, I'm proud of that. So when all of this compounds, you don't just gain muscle or confidence, you gain freedom. Freedom to live life on your terms. And it is the best feeling ever. I love living life on my own terms, and that is freedom, bro. I love freedom, and this is the best way to break out of it. I can do what anybody tells me to do, and I know I can do it because I've done things like this. I know that I can talk to very intimidating people that no one would really talk to. I can do that. So it's a great thing to break from. So now that you know how everything works and I've showed you the process, I do have an offer. So I have built a 30-day free confidence and fitness starter you can grab. And it is pretty basic stuff. Basically everything I told you, I just laid it out and you can track it. You can do with whatever you want with it. Now, if you're wanting to take this all the way, where I can give you all the wisdom, all the advanced details, getting you to the faster, elitist level as quick as possible. I don't know what those words meant, but I can get you there very quickly. I don't actually work with small groups. I apologize for that saying that, but I actually work with all of you individually, and I'm not your average guru workout trainer or even confidence trainer. I do it all. I will help you every step of the way. I've helped other people. Obviously, you've seen that. And in 90 days, we can really kick you off. The whole point is for those 90 days, you can keep me after those 90 days, but I don't want you to. I want you to stop working with me at 90 days because I will build you a plan and we will kick you off and get you in the right motion and you don't need me anymore. So I'm very excited. I'm going to drop the link below of both the Confidence and Fitness Starter program for the 30 days. And then I'm also going to be dropping my calendar link. And I'm excited to work with you. If you ever need anything from me, DM me on Instagram and let's get this going, y'all. I want y'all to be better. Watch this YouTube as many times as you can because this is going to make you a better man or woman. So take it easy, y'all.